Hey, what's up everybody? Bungie just released an exotic weapon preview for Season 21, and I'm just going to go over a little bit of that for you. Basically, for our non-exotic things, Immortal got a little bit of a nerf, Shira's Wrath got some changes, reticles in general are kind of getting changed, especially for exotics to reflect their perks more, at least the ones with charges. And then we're getting charge meters for fusions and swords. I might be forgetting some stuff, but just generally, that's kind of what it is. Exotic-wise, this is where it's way more interesting. Eyes of Tomorrow is going to get better ammo economy. I never thought I would be seeing a buff for this thing, but here we are. It's not boss damage, which is pretty cool, I guess. So basically, you can wipe out hordes of Thrall and never lose ammo in your rocket launcher. That's pretty cool. Definitely won't break Gambit more. Bungie doesn't really seem to care about that mode too much, but Eyes of Tomorrow buff, pretty cool, I guess. Graviton Lance got a little bit of a rework. Its RPM was increased to feel more like Revision Zero's 2-round burst. And those 2 shots, the damage differential is brought in a little more. Like I remember year 1 when Graviton Lance was the PvP meta, you had to learn how to definitely hit that second shot as a headshot to win gunfights. Because if you missed it, you were going to lose every single time. So seeing that brought in a little more might make it more viable in PvP again. Probably not to the degree it was in year 1 though. Jade Rabbit got some changes. Basically, Fate of All Fools has buff text now, and after quickly hitting 3 critical hits, you refund 3 shots instead of 1, which that's always nice to get shots back in your magazine. And then Manticore. I don't like Manticore. I never have, and I don't know if this buff is going to make it better, but Goofy Exotic, the Catalyst damage resistance was increased from tier 3 to tier 4. So I guess there's that. Increased movement speed during hang time. So like when you're flying around with Manticore, you'll be able to move faster. And then activating the Catalyst perk through an airborne kill or sustained damage following an airborne kill partially refills the magazine. So it's going to have subsistence basically while airborne or sustained damage following an airborne kill, whatever. Lumina got buffed. Weird one I didn't think was going to happen, but Lumina got a buff. It got 6 charges instead of 5 now. So you get 6 charges. This is to bring it in line with Memento Mori, even though those 2 perks work completely differently and function very differently, but for the exotic weapon reticle. Only reason they did it, which is fine. I don't think it needs a buff, but it could use it. As far as support weapons, Tractor Cannon's probably the best in most situations, followed by Divinity, but they're pretty equal. Lumina's kind of in the back in my opinion. Heart Shadow. It had its damage increase, like, it's faster now. So, like, you go invisible, in less than a second, you get your damage increase, which is nice. And it weakens upon dealing any damage while damage increase is active. So, I could see some pretty nasty builds working with this thing. So, off the top of my head, you could go on Hunter with Gear Falcons. So you'll have volatile rounds like all the time. You're going to weaken with Heart Shadow. Maybe use, say, the title, because that'll give you more dodges, so more chances to go invisible. I mean, Heart Shadow makes you go invisible too. So I'm not sure if that's completely necessary, but I feel like Heart Shadow with Gear Falcon, maybe the title, maybe some other Void SMG or sidearm or something, but the title, I just like it. So Worldline Zero got a buff. I was actually using Worldline Zero yesterday. I needed to farm the Catalyst because I didn't have it on PC for some reason. So basically you get 2 charges instead of 1. They're reducing the damage on the teleport, even though that's not really why people ever used it. But having 2 teleports is absolutely massive. I don't think speedrunning is going to be back in the same way it was back before the original nerf to Worldline, or even the first nerf to Eager Edge, but I feel like that's a nice step. So I'm excited for the world line change. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of speed running, especially with world line, but I think it's nice to see it get a little buff to what made it unique. Sweet Business got a buff. This is fucking wild to me. I don't think it's overpowered. I think it's a fun, goofy exotic. In PvP, it's a little annoying if they're pre-firing half a magazine, they'll walk around the corner at max fire rate and you get insta-gib, but now it's going to be easier to do that because it fires explosive rounds every once in a while. Which, I think it's funny. I don't think it's all that useful, though. I guess it's a slight damage increase, technically. But say they gave kinetic weapons a few different champion verbs, like maybe explosive rounds and time payload could stun, or had a small chance to stun unstoppables or something. Maybe I could see it. But it's a small damage increase, which is cool. But I feel like killing tally would have been a cooler way to do it on Sweet Business. But the explosive payload's probably going to be funny, so love to see it. Legend of ACRIUS got a buff. Big fan of that. I haven't been using it because frankly it just isn't good, but maybe after its buff I'll use it because it's getting 4 more shots, which is nuts. And its max range is getting increased by 3 meters. This is absolutely massive for Legend of ACRIUS. It got Trench Barrel. I would have preferred 1-2 punch, but Trench Barrel's just fine. So I'm excited to try out some possible builds with Legend of ACRIUS. Not 100% sure how it'll go, but hey, should be fun. Tommy's Matchbook. Now, I'm going to give you a little build here for it. It's probably not going to be great, but seeing that Sanguine Alchemy's getting buffed, and it has a natural synergy with Tommy's Matchbook, because Tommy's Matchbook wants to kill you. Put down a Healing Rift, stand it with Tommy's Matchbook. You won't have to worry about overheat killing. I mean, it's never going to kill you anyways, but, you know, you're going to stay full health. But with this Tommy's Matchbook buff, it's only to the Catalyst, so if you don't have that, you'll have to buy the weapon from Monument to Lost Light, talk to Banshee, do that quest. I'm pretty sure it sucked back when it came out, but basically, while overheated, sustained fire scorches your target. And that's going to be every shot, or not every shot, sorry. Every 5 shots, you'll get 14 scorch stacks. It'll be 21 if you have Ember of Ashes on. So that's pretty good. It's a 720 RPM also with the 50 round magazine, I believe. So if you're on Titan, maybe you could run Actium War Rig so it auto loads. And the hardest part to deal with is going to be that healing. But its Catalyst naturally heals you, so maybe it's not too big of a complaint. No Time is getting buffed. Basically, the little buddy with No Time is just getting more capabilities. It'll take on whatever champion thing you have. I think it only wasn't working on anti-barrier, but now it will. And it's going to work with Feeding Frenzy, which is the catalyst for No Time. To explain, not a great catalyst for it, but that's what they gave it. And they fixed a bug with it. Skyburner's Oath is actually getting a buff. So instead of adding 3 stacks of Scorch with every shot, it's going to be 5, 10 with Ember of Ashes, which is going to be nice. I like using a Dawn Course. It's pretty funny, but now it's going to be a whole lot better because every shot's going to add 10 Scorch stacks plus whatever Dawn Course adds. So you'll actually be getting ignitions instead of all the Scorch stacks falling off by the time you fire your next shot. So that should help it out a lot. Salvation's Grip might be a weapon now. Brace yourselves, it's not just a quest item. Rework to have 2 firing modes. That's absolutely massive. So instead of it being like a little fucking shit crystal, if you just hit the fire button, you hold it and you get the full crystals like you do before. But if you just hit the trigger, it fires a grenade like it's a grenade launcher or something. Wow. It does increase damage to stasis crystal and frozen targets. Massive, honestly. I can see this coming in handy if you have a behemoth on your team. Like they just send a wave of stasis crystals out with their super and you just blast into it. Also reloads the magazine whenever you shatter at least 3 crystals with an uncharged shot. So again, behemoth lays out a bunch of crystals, slam it. I had a build back when Witch Queen launched with Hoarfrost Z, where you would use Dead Messenger to crack stasis crystals. This might be better for that now, especially because it's gonna fall in line with the stasis builds more, probably. So maybe it'll be good. Hopefully it's fun. Bad Juju just got a little bit of a bug fix. Same with Fighting Lion. Bad Juju had its recoil fixed to be a pulse rifle recoil instead of an auto rifle. Fighting Lion, sadly, had its red bar damage nerfed. They nerfed it before, like it was broken at one point. They fixed it. An update came out a little bit later, broke it again. So it's where it should be once Season 21 launches. Thunderlord. It was bugged with Divinity. It was counting 2 crits instead of 1 when you hit the bubble sometimes. So, you're going to see Thunderlord's damage go down in some situations if you have someone using Divinity on your team. So, if you weren't using Divinity before, don't worry. No changes to Thunderlord. If you were using Divinity, expect your damage to go down. That's just how it is. Winter Bite is getting its impact damage removed from its normal fire. Yeah, it's getting completely removed. It's going to be detonation damage, and then you're going to deal less damage to yourself with that shot if you point at your feet, basically. Because it's more damage. And then there were some just perk changes. Basically, Glaives got Thresh, Demolitions, and Pugilist buffed, which is nice, I guess. Reconstruction got some changes. That way, it is some slight changes to the timer. That way, it didn't exceed perk budgets, which might help it. Shoot to Loot can pick up orbs. It doesn't have to be a direct hit. It can be weapon detonations. That might only be for the orbs, though. I don't know about the ammo. It says orbs. Not 100% sure. That might just be something else. Fragile Focus. It lasts until the shield pops, and then returns when when the shields regenerate to 100%. That's it. It's not too big of a change. So that's about it for this. Oh, yeah, sorry. Sparrows are getting buffed to be more in line with Always on Time, which is cool. Sword updates coming in the future. But other than that, just some quick little notes. But yeah, the sword rework and Sparrow buffs are way in the future. So that's basically it for this new Bungie blog post. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe like, comment, and subscribe real quick. I got a Discord server if you want to join that. So you could do some LFG maybe. We want to get that running. I'm going to do some Destiny Fashion at some point and some other stuff on there. That should be really fun. Pretty cool. And yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time.